we saw. I'm not going to be able to pull it. It's not Club Dread.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. My wife and I saw that at the Chinese Theater opening day.
That's incredible.
We're all in on Broken.
That's fantastic.
Again, but except for, just like the studios, I'm not so invested in this quasi yet. I'm going to wait until you make me a couple of bucks.
Okay.
Anyway, you've heard this from everybody. Supertroopers was hysterical. Just nonstop jokes. And you guys were you guys were way ahead of the game with Brian Cox.
Well, we originally offered that part to Bill Murray. And, because why not, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's likely to do $1 million movie. And so we called his agent, and his agent's like, yeah, great, I'll send it to him. But just let me tell you how it works. So Bill calls in every 6 months from a payphone. If I'm not at my desk, I won't talk to him for another 6 months. She goes, but if I happen to be at my desk over the next 6 months and he calls, I'll tell him about this movie that you're offering almost $0 to. And then I'll call you back and I'll tell you he's not going to do it.
Okay.
So what do you want me to do? So
you moved on.
We moved on. And then Brian Cox's agent called and said, Brian read the script and wants to do this movie. And we're like, what? Really? And so we said, absolutely, sure.
What was he known for at the time? To me, that was my first introduction to Brian Cox.
He was the original Hannibal Lecter in a movie called Manhunter.
I did know that, actually.
Right? And then he was in Rushmore. He played like the maybe the headmaster who gets paralyzed or gets a stroke or something. And that was what they said. He's funny. Hey, watch Rushmore, and you're like, well, he does get paralyzed, and he's sort of And I'm like, I guess that's funny, but there was no way to know rhythm from that.
Right.
But he was a real actor, and we were fake actors. And we thought, we put this guy in the movie, we might actually look like people think we're real actors.
Right.
And it kind of worked.
Yeah, it did work.
Totally.
Yeah.
If you guys mention shenanigans, goddammit, he's hysterical.
Well, he has great timing. And what he originally thought his life was going to be is he thought he would be Jerry Lewis. He thought he was going to have that career.
Really?
And then he got cast in all these dramas. And he was always like, oh, but I want to be Jerry Lewis.
Right.
And then with us, he kind of got
You gave him the chance to do that.
Yeah.
Was there ever talk of casting him again in another film? Or I know you're very involved in sitcoms and stuff, of getting Brian Cox to come by to be a clown in one of those.
Well, I think if it's a Broken Lizard movie, I don't know. I mean, if you ever see this movie on the Hulu, you'll hear his voice. He's the voiceover because old British guy.
He's got a great voice,
even though he's Scottish. But I wrote him a movie, a role in a new movie that is basically it's like a Scottish golf trip movie that turns into something like The Hangover, and it's set in Scotland, and he's Scottish, so I'm going to try to get him to do that.
Nice. Oh,
Nice.
he's in.
Yeah, I think so.
Remind him that he wants to be Jerry Lewis.
I think so.
He's in. I mean, the guy's doing McDonald's commercials. I mean, he's obviously struggling at the moment.
There's a number.
Well, great. All right. Well, Quasi is the new film. Tell me about you.
Can I quickly ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you guys pronounce it quasi or do you say quasi?
It's quasi, but I thought that was his little routine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I do know it's a bit. Sometimes I just don't know.
Yeah, it would be quasi because it's Quasimodo.
Yeah.
But I'm saying quasi as if it's a quasi whatever. I'm being disrespectful to our guest. Is what I'm doing.
I love it.
Quasi. You happy now? Maybe that's why I can't find it. That's why I haven't watched it. I'm looking for.
You're using voice search.
I'm doing voice search.
Siri.
Quasi.
Quasi.
We have found nothing. I can't watch it again. I can't do my prep for Monday show. I know nothing about you or your personal life. You mentioned you said something about a physicist or something off the air. I forget, or a scientist, and you said might have said also from Chicago. Are you from Chicago?
I'm from the Chicago suburbs, Hinsdale.
Hinsdale is a northwest.
It's straight west.
It is okay.
And then I went to school north in Lake Forest Academy.
You grew up there your whole life?
Yeah, my family still lives there.
I am from the south suburbs. I'm from Oak Forest.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad lives probably never. He's in Westmont.
Oh, yeah.
Which is near.
Yeah, fairly close.
Right? Downers Grove area?
Yeah, I went to grade school in Downers Grove.
All right. So, yeah. And back when I worked for MCA Records, which I did back in the 80s, I had an account in Downers Grove. Sound Warehouse was a
sure.
a record store right on.
Sure.
Is it on Cass or Maine? I won't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You're a White Sox fan?
I am a White Sox fan.
Yeah, I'm a Cubs fan.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I
agree.
I don't give a shit. I'm not one of those guys. There's a lot of dumb Southsiders like, hey, it's a good day, Jim. Sox won, Cubs lost. I hope they both win. I hope they both win 162 games and play each other in the World Series. And then it goes to 7 games, and one of them wins. I would prefer it to be the White Sox,
right?
Because I grew up in the south suburbs. But yeah, I'm a diehard Sox fan, and we are having a shitty year.
Yeah.
And how invested into the Cubs are you?
Well, the Cubs started hot,
Yes.
and they were not considered to be a good team going into the season, and they started hot, so everyone's like, oh no, maybe this is going to happen. And then they slowed down. But I think they've beaten San Diego the last 2 days.
Yes, they did.
So maybe they're kind of turning it back around. I don't know. You know, we're pretty low, so there's only up to go. Sort of like the Bears.
I don't follow football. I don't. I rebelled against my stepfather and my stepbrothers and my brother loved Sunday football, and I chose to make a Darth Vader masks in my room out of paper bags. That was my rebellion against literally the rebellion. I guess. No, the other side.
Yeah, he was on the other side of it.
I don't follow it.
Yeah, you didn't keep up with it after that.
You were rooting for the Imperial forces.
I guess I misunderstood the movie.
To hear the whole conversation, subscribe for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, or visit nevernotfunny.com.